Okay, so if you've been following along since the beginning of part one of this series of classes, you've seen instrument racks, you've seen MIDI effect racks, and in the last class, you saw effect racks just kind of introduced, right? So we already know what racks are and what racks do, but let me just put effect racks into a little bit of context. Imagine you have a delay. In fact, let's make this while I'm walking through it. So here's our little demo that I've got for this. I just grabbed a little segment of a remix of a track of mine. Don't need the metronome, I suppose. Cool. So let's build an effects rack. And so I'm going to throw it right on there. And what I'm going to do is make a super delay. Okay, and I just want to do this as a demo of what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to throw an empty effects rack on there. You can find audio effect rack in utilities. But there's nothing there, right? So now I'm going to go to time and space, and I'm going to go to my chains, and I'm going to add a reverb and an echo, a phaser, flanger. Okay, so I'm going to rename these. This is reverb. This is flanger. I'm just going to call it that. And this is echo. Okay, I'm going to reorder these a little bit just by dragging them around. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a single knob that's going to take my reverb from milliseconds all the way up to huge. Okay, so what that means is that I'm going to make an effect that's going to start off as a flanger, go up to reverb, and then go up to delay. Echo, in this case. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go to the chain selector for each of these. I'm going to open this all the way up. Okay, and I'm going to say this one kicks on around 33. This one kicks on around 66. No. This one kicks on around 40. This one kicks on around 80. Top one kicks off around 50. Just going to let there be a little bit of overlap. Like that. And then we're going to fade this one in. Crossfade a little bit here to fade this one in. Fade this one out. And fade this one in. Okay, let's make a little more overlap there. Same here. Okay, now what I have created with this macro is a super delay, right? Now I'm going to take this, the chain selector, I'm just going to control click on it, map it to macro 1. Now, what I've created here is a super delay because we're going to start off with something like a phaser when this is all the way down. As I go up, we're going to crossfade it into a reverb, which is like a bigger delay, but still a very, very small delay. And then it's going to push all the way into an echo, a big delay. So I have a delay that goes from effectively like a couple samples of delay all the way up until a couple seconds of delay. Let's hear it. Before I do that, let's create one more chain and just let the dry all the way through so that we can still hear the dry. Okay, so here we go. There's our flanger. big reverb. Here's our echo. Okay, we can make that echo a lot bigger. Let's make it really obvious here. Okay, pull it back. Right, so the reason I've set this up is just to show you this idea of crossfading effects and building effect workflows, right? I could make it so, let's say we've always got the delay going, or we map the stereo width to the same macro so that it gets wider as we get bigger. Right? So there's unlimited possibilities with this. You can get really complicated, and you can also do some really amazing stuff in a really simple way too. This is one of my absolute favorite things about Live, is building audio effect chains. You can do stuff that is just unbelievably cool. So let's talk about what's actually going on behind the scenes with effect racks.